Great day. Great day. Welcome to my monthly comic haul. This is your friendly neighborhood moderator here with the Black Comic Lords, streaming live to YouTube, Black Comic Lords on Facebook and on Twitter. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And while you're here getting yourselves together, don't forget to go hop by blackcomiclords.net. We are building a most spectacular Black comics database there. So you want to come in, you want to look around, you want to participate, go to blackcomiclords.net. You'll be glad you went. So how are all of you this afternoon? This was a pretty fun month for me. You know, I was able to stay within my budget because last month was blown. I blew it all the way out of the water. So I decided I'm going to be good this month. I'm going to stick to my pre-orders, stick to my budget. And I still came out pretty well. A piece of advice, something that I had to end up doing, I had to get a separate account just for my comic purchases and the few comic sales that I tend to do every now and again. All that money goes there. That way, I'm not messing with my rent money. I'm not messing with my bill money. I'm not messing with my mommy, I need money because I have children. My comics money is separate. So that way, when mommy feels like buying comics, I can buy comics and it won't hurt. And I won't be sitting here rolling up change at the end of the month, trying to get to the next month. So stay within your budget. Stay within your budgets. So I'm sitting here today and I'm showing you all the fun things I got in the month of May. And of course, the lovely thing about the month of May, Free Comic Book Day. One of my favorite days in the life of a comic collector. Free comics. Oh, honey, you can never beat free 99. But there are rules, okay? There are rules to this thing. If you want to get what you need to get, if you want to make out with what you need to make out, if you want to get at least some of the listed comics that are available for Free Comic Book Day. This year, 2022, there was 49 free comic books available from the Independents, Marvel, DC. There was 49 of them. Now, the odds of getting all 49 from a comic store, very slim, very low, very low. The only place where I saw that you could get all 49 that were offered, Lone Star Comics, and you had to pay for that. And you know, it's if you simply must have all of them, you know, if you want to collect them all like Pokemon, that's pretty much the only way to go. To guarantee that you will get all of them, you'd have to pay for it. And me, I feel as though I don't really want to pay for a comic that's free. That's just me. And plus, I go through this list every year, and then I make a listing of the ones I really, really want. This year, I think it was 10 on the piece of paper because I made a post on Free Comic Book Day. I couldn't go live in the stores, so, you know. sometimes you have to be mindful, of where you go live and what you do. So I had a list. I had 10 of them that I wanted. I think 10, 12. I had to hit 3 LCSs to get those. The 10 that I had on the paper that I really, really wanted. Because, of course, on Free Comic Book Day, there are rules. And most LCSs severely limit the amount of comics you can get, one, and how many of them you can get. Because, they've had some crazy, crazy things happen. They've had people who will be standing at that door waiting for the LCS to open, walk in, pick up a stack of one particular comic that they may want, and walk out the door. That's not cool. So that's why on Free Comic Book Day and most LCSs, at least the most of the ones here in Philly, they have a section of the store, and then they have somebody there guarding it, just to make sure that you don't just sit there and just scoop up all of them and walk out the door with them. It's sad that that has to happen, but some people, they just take things just a little bit too far. You give them an inch, they take a mile. Give them a rope, they want to be a cowboy. So that's why those rules are in place in certain LCSs. So at the very least, I was able to get the ones I wanted, but I went to 3 different LCSs. I went to my normal LCS that I go to where my pull list was, and then I hit 2 more. And then, of course, the beautiful thing about being in Philadelphia, there's plenty of comic book stores here. Okay? But you have to travel. And I'm on SEPTA. I couldn't get my son to ride his mama around and get comics this year. So I was pretty much on foot. So I went to the ones where I could easily access from my home and not have to, go all the way across the city. So I will start, of course, with my Free Comic Book Day haul. Okay, Spider-Man Venom. These are always very popular. So I knew that I had to be at my store, at my regular LCS, like maybe at the very least 30 minutes after they open to be able to at least get my hands on one of these. So I managed to get it. So that's Spider-Man Venom. And it also has a bonus Avengers story in it as well. Okay. The next one up, Donald Duck. These are pretty nice, These are pretty decent. If you have small children, you might want to introduce them to comics. This is what you use. This is what I pull out when I have my little nieces and nephews come over, and they'd be like, well, you like comic books, Auntie. I want to read one. And then those are the ones I pull out. The Walt Disney ones. They're a big hit. Big hit. All right, the next one, Avatar, The Last Airbender, and also with the story of The Legend of Korra in it. Because I loved Avatar. I have all the DVDs. And then I have The Legend of Korra Blu-rays. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed introducing my children to that. Okay. I did not enjoy that live action movie. That was trash. And M. Night Shyamalan knew better. But the original series on DVD and Blu-ray, I got them. Introduce your children to that if you want them to watch something really, really engrossing and interesting. And it's great. I can't say enough about Avatar: The Last Airbender. Nickelodeon's version of that. Okay. Good afternoon to you. Glad to have you here with me this afternoon. All right, the next one up. All right, this one caught my eye because this is pretty interesting. Because it has, of course, black folk. You know, we always got to look for the other black folk and everything. So yes, I picked this up. This was probably not for my demographic, but I thought it'd be kind of interesting to have. And then if I read it and if I like it, I'll follow it. If not, this goes in with the niece and nephew pile. Okay, the next one, Galaxy, the Prettiest Star. I heard some pretty good things about this book, so I made sure that I was going to at least get one. Ooh, get it. Let's not bend that over, because of course I'm out of bags, so that's why they're not bagged and boarded. All right, the Avengers. So, and this, of course, Hulk is doing what he does. So, always catch up to these because some of these are probably really good jumping on points to whatever storyline is going on in the Avengers. Because I only pick up the Avengers, you know, when T'Challa's around. So, otherwise, no, I don't even bother. Okay, next one up, Valiant. The year, this is kind of like a yearbook where it shows you like little bits of what Valiant is doing for the year. Okay, I collect Ninja K. I collect Livewire. Let's see, what's that? Probably some other ones. Oh, you know, I collect Valiant comics. They're pretty decent. And this one, of course, features Bloodshot. And a couple of hits to do. Oh, and Rye. I definitely I make sure that I get a good bit of Rye whenever they come up. So yeah, because this features, of course, Bloodshot, Archer and Armstrong, Ninja K, and more. So this is something that I always like to get to round out my Valiant collection, the yearbooks. All right, next up, the In-Call universe, humanoids. Okay, this particular comics company, I like them. They had a couple of books that I'd collected until, unfortunately, due to COVID-19 and the paper shortage, they had to cut a lot of their comics. And, it's a shame because this was shaping up to be a really good universe. And then, of course, they moved to digital. And, I'm an analog gal. I really like having the comic books in my hands to touch them, to open them, read it. There's nothing like that. So digital is not my jam. I mean, if I'm forced to do it, I have several copies of comics that I own digitally, but it's not my jam. It's not my jam at all. All right, the next one, Electric Black. Okay, this one, let's see. This was the Black Caravan comic company here. This was pretty interesting when I read this. And this is a little bit more of an adult bend, okay? Not for the children. Not for the children. Because sometimes on Free Comic Book Day, the really adult stuff, they will hide in the back. And then you'll have to ask for certain things. Because then they don't want kids to grab stuff that's really not for them. And Electric Black is one of those not for children type deals. Okay, the next one up, AWA Upshot. Now, I just recently started collecting the Jones. I like that comic. And then I'm going to look into see these other ones. This one here is Primos. This is about a young Hispanic boy who discovers that he's in a long line of Incan magicians, shamans. So he discovers he has these powers and he gets to fight evil with his two cousins. And this is pretty good. I like this one. So I might actually rock with this one. And this also has the Spanish version of this very same story in the back. So Moderator Tameko approved. Next one up, Tokyo Pop. All right. Guardian of Fukushima. So, of course, I like Tokyo Pop's anime to a degree. I've collected some things, so I decided to pick this one up to see how it is. And it's really, really, it's lush. It's really nice inside, okay? Its art is pleasing to my eyes, so I would definitely pick this up. All right. Every year I get the Doctor Who ones. And this year, okay, Doctor Who was the sister. So I'm waiting, okay? I'm waiting for them to come up with a comic series for this, considering the next Doctor Who coming up is a black man. And you know those folks are already kicking and screaming. Already. The Time Lord is an alien. The Time Lord can look like anyone or anything. So why not black one? So, and it's like the same song and dance every year because the current doctor is a white woman. And goodness knows they had fits about that. Doctor can't be female. No, honey. The doctor can be whatever the doctor chooses. So this is a really good story. So hopefully I will get a limited series for this particular doctor. And then I'm going to watch The Black Doctor on BBC America. And of course, the DC offering this year is, of course, The Road to Dark Crisis. I'm going to give you guys another video, okay, to tell y'all how I really feel about the death of the Justice League, which goes into Dark Crisis. So yeah, look out for that one. Oh, that one's going to be a key. That one's going to be a key. All right, and the Marvel ones. Of course, I'm an X-Men girl. So any X-Men comic that they put out for Free Comic Book Day, I'm going to get it. Without a doubt, I'm going to get it. This is, of course, the prelude to Judgment Day, where the X-Men are going to clash with the Avengers and the Eternals. Oh, I'm hoping that I will not be disappointed with this story. Okay, get the story right. I'll forgive the minor baubles in the artwork, but if they get the story right, it's going to be fire. It's going to be fire. And of course, Marvel Voices. Shout out to Angelique Roche. I always will get these two because, of course, this light. I was tempted to turn the light off, but then if I turn the light off, I would blend into the wall, and that is so that's not cool. You got to get the full chocolate. So, Marvel Voices. I love these anthology books. They're great. They highlight characters, that we hadn't seen for a while, and this, like I said, the Free Comic Book Day is usually just a little taste of what's coming out for the year because they have different anthologies for different groups of us. Because we're not a monolith, there's plenty of stories for people of color. And I don't like using that term, but it applies here. People of color, in comics. So definitely pick this up. Definitely pick that up. All right. And then, of course, the fun thing about Free Comic Book Day, at certain LCSs, you will stumble onto some things that you probably missed going around, because Free Comic Book Day is not the only day that they do free themed comics. Okay? They have free comics available on Halloween and other types of things. And this here, okay, I couldn't pass this up because, of course, this one was the Halloween comic book extravaganza, the free one for Halloween. And this was The Road to Devil's Reign. And I was like, okay. I decided to not be angry anymore that they canceled that Luke Cage book because Devil's Reign is somewhat decent story. And then, of course, he ends up being mayor of New York. So I definitely, I was like, okay, I'll get the Devil's Reign now. Because I was going to hold a grudge for quite a while. I was going to hold a grudge. Yes, I was. All right. So as part of that free comic book day haul, of course, I also got my other comics because at my regular LCS Fat Jack's Comic Crypt, I of course got my pull list since I was there. And the thing about free comic book day that some shop owners, are kind of squirrely on that day because they know that, some people are only coming in for the free stuff and they're not buying anything else because those free comics are supposed to be like a lost leader to get you to come into the store and spend some money. So, I go there and it's like, well, okay, you pick your free comics that you get to pick, and then they set them aside for you. And I was like, and then they go, are you going to go buy some more comics? I sure am. So you hold those at the register, and I'll be back. And I'll go pick up what I need to pick up. So at my regular LCS, of course, my pull list, okay, I got Monstress 39. This is a good book, okay? This story is on point. Artwork is on point. And like I said, and then of course the last covers. Oh, these covers are lush. So you will not be disappointed. But like I said, getting the originals or getting like the first 10 issues, because like I said, we're at 39 now. You're better off getting the trades because you will not find 1 through 15 single copies under rent money. Not going to find it. It's not going to happen. Believe me. Get the trades. All right. Next up, Shang-Chi 11. All right. Shang-Chi's mama got kidnapped by her daddy. And they're going now. Shang-Chi had to get the whole gang back together because they're still kind of mad at him for how he's doing business now as a leader. So he recollects Sister Hammer. Okay, she tried to kill him, like in issues 1 and 2. But they got to get their mama. So he's going to forgive his sister so they can join forces with his other siblings and get his mama. And then, of course, I think this is the next to last one because number 12 is going to be the last one where, spoiler alert, he's going to pick up the 10 rings. And then they're going to start a whole new series, Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings. So that's all I'm going to tell you because, hey, if you do solicits, if you do pre-orders, when we get to that section of this show, when you do pre-orders, you'll already know what's happening because, these companies can't hold water. Neither of them. Alrighty. This here, Spider-Woman 21. I like Jessica Drew, but then it's like series finale, and I'm like, after doing what they did to this poor woman in this series, okay, now they're going to stop it and probably start it again. I hope not. I'm like, why can't we keep it on going? Now I realize there's a whole lot of shakeups, and they're probably going to place her into another crossover event, I guess. But Jessica Drew, she's fun as Spider-Woman, and this is probably the only Spider book that I collect, of course. All right. Okay, and this I picked up. These I picked up. Okay. These I picked up at another LCS that I was getting my other free comic books from. Okay, because I'm going to tell you here. I went to Fat Jack's first, of course. Then I went to Brave New World's Old City. One of my starting to become another one of my favorites. And then I went to Atomic City Comics on South Street. So these are pretty cool. So I got this one. I believe I got this one from Brave New Worlds because, of course, I'm collecting the marbles. And at Brave New Worlds, they have a whole wall of comics. Okay, there's no back issue bin type situation. Whatever's on their wall is what they got of any particular comic. So I was trying to recollect them, since I came into it late. I know. Late pass from Rich for this one, because this is a very good book. This is a very good book. And this one is number 2. And it's amazing that it was still on the shelf. So shout out to Brave New Worlds. All right. And from Atomic City, okay, they have a similar setup where everything they got is on the walls. They have very limited back issue type deals. So, of course, I finished up Phoenix Song Echo 4 and 5. I have a soft spot for Echo, okay, ever since she was in New Avengers. And then, of course, seeing her in the Hawkeye series, and then she's going to get her own Disney Plus series. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can rock with her. And now that she has a Phoenix Force. Now, a lot of people did not like this. I'm cool with it. I'm okay. Because, the Phoenix Force had to pick somebody. And we're going to probably see the origin of the whole Phoenix jumping thing, of course, in Savage Avengers. And then, of course, dealing with Thor's origin. And, the fanboys are going to go wild on that one. So just keep an eye out for that one. And, of course, I did not realize that I did not have Static number 6. So I probably missed it, because I try my best to pre-order my Milestone comics, but this one slipped the radar. So I said, okay, let me get it since I see it on the shelf. Okay, and then this is just the one I need. Okay, Static number 6, season 1, B cover. If you know me, I go for B's. So yes. Let's see. Okay, and of course, Nicholas Draper Ivy. He's one of my favorite artists. Okay, y'all let him know that. Alrighty. So while we go through here, let me hit some of these comments that came in. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you enjoy my content. I'm doing my best, being a comic geek and spreading my joy and my love of comics to everyone. All right, and this one here. After listening to your commentary, I think I will start paying attention to the comments and encourage my students to read the awesome. Please let me know who you are, because it says here Facebook user. So I can't run this and look at Facebook at the same time. So give me another comment. Let me know who you are so I can shout you out properly. All right. So now we are going to move on to, oops, I hit the wrong thing. That's bad. Okay, I already showed you the LCS haul with the Facebook haul. Now, here's the pre-orders haul of this program. Now, the best way to get these comics and not pay arm and a leg and your firstborn and your rent money, pre-order them. Because then, you know, because these books, they're like $6, $7, $9. And I don't really want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm a budget type of gal. I like to get the most bang for my buck. I want to get the most comics I can for my dollars. So we pre-order. Now, if you are a frequenter of the Black Comic Lord's social media spaces, you know that we have an FOC post. Okay, I try my best to highlight it every time I see it because our fellow Black Comic Lords work very, very hard to get those together to let us know when these comics are coming out and when to get them at the lowest possible price. So we have a little partnership with Things from Another World. So you check out this link on the bottom. You go through that link. You can do your pre-orders, okay? Or you might want to buy some things. That helps Black Comic Lords out. That helps us be able to continue with this great content. That helps us, of course, buy comics, you know. So check out this link on the bottom and go to Things from Another World and tell them the Black Comic Lord sent you. All right. So this is the start of the pre-orders that I made there. And with Things from Another World, okay, the way their system works is you go there, okay, you click whichever pre-orders that they have, because they have a whole section full of pre-orders, so you don't even really have to depend on what we post. You can look through the entire list of whichever comics that you want to get ahead of time and for a much lower price. So you put them on the list. Now, the thing about Things from Another World, okay, they will not charge you until the comics are ready to ship. So it's a small, slight danger of you ordering a lot more comics than you could possibly afford. So you be mindful of how much you're accumulating, because then they're shipped by the ship date. A week or so before that ship date, they will have a bunch of pre-orders listed in your pre-orders, and then they will ask for the money. And you should have that money. If you don't have the money, they're not shipping you your pre-orders. And that's why, of course, I have to have a separate account so that it doesn't dip into the bill money. So this is my first shipment from my pre-orders list, which is long and extensive. So what I did was I got Trial of the Amazons Wonder Girl 2, otherwise known as Wonder Girl 8. I was very disappointed in the way the story ended. Very disappointed. And I will outline all of that in an upcoming live, because this was a beautiful comic, okay? The art, but the story was just, you know, it's just terrible. And of course, I'm being the completist that I am, you know, I had to have them all, but when I read them, I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't not have wasted my money on that. But again, I'll tell you my full qualms and quibbles with the Trial of the Amazon storyline. Right? And then the second one, Aquaman. Okay. I'm also disappointed that this series is coming to an end. So I just pre-ordered all of the remaining ones so that at least I know that I'll get them. Because, I mean, I like Jackson Hyde. I mean, I'm easy. So, this is the story, of course, with Jackson Hyde, Arthur, and Black Manta in it. You know, it should have been a fire. It should have been really, really successful, but they canceled. So I think they canceled it at issue 6. So I made sure that I pre-ordered, because this one's 3. Made sure I pre-ordered all the remaining issues. Okay, that was an A cover. I didn't really like the B cover. And that's the only reason why that one was an A. So that, of course, was my first shipment from Things from Another World pre-orders. So, you have to have a little patience. Make sure you have enough money for the stuff that you order ahead of time. And it should be awesome. It should work out just fine for you. And like I said, the link down there, help Black comic lords out. And now, last but certainly never least, in my hauls for the month, Lone Star Comics, mycomicshop.com. That's my second favorite place to get comics, because again, they have the comics that I want. They have them at the prices that I want. And that pretty much works for me, and they ship it to me. You can't beat that with a stick. You can't beat it with a stick. So here's what I got, because I get my subscriptions from Lone Star twice a month, because again, I got to get my stuff and then get the new stuff, and then if I see old things, I can snatch that and I can put it with my subscription shipment so they can ship them all to me at once. I know. I'm sitting here, just geeking out over the store. Okay. So the first one. Giant size X-Men Thunderbird. This is awesome. Okay. This is awesome because James Proudstar is back. No, John Proudstar. Yes, John Proudstar is back. Because James is Warpath. I gotta get my Thunderbirds together. Gotta get my people straight. Okay. Gotta get the people straight. So now, he has been resurrected. Okay. Now, things are way, way different. Because he was one of the first X-Men to die in a mission. A long time ago. So I could just imagine, how it feels. You've been dead for a very, very, very long time. And now on Krakoa, death has no meaning. And now they can bring back all of the mutants that they've lost over the years. And you come back to this world and you're like, okay. Well, this issue, this one shot, okay, brings John Proudstar back into the Marvel universe, back into the X-Men universe, and deals with how he's living now that he's been back. Because he's going to feature in X-Men Red. And most possibly he might feature in New Mutants, maybe, because that's where James Proudstar is, Warpath. So, Thunderbird is back. And he's not taking any stuff. So, I picked this cover, of course, because this is a nicer cover, okay? And this is, of course, the second iteration of the X-Men that Charles Xavier got together to rescue the first iteration of the X-Men. And of course, Thunderbird died in that mission. So it's good to see, him back amongst the living, and then back with his family, back with his brother, and then he goes to see his grandmother. And then, of course, he gets a whole new design. So I'm not going to show that to y'all. Y'all, if you're interested, because he doesn't look like this anymore. So if you're interested in what Thunderbird looks like now, okay, pick this up. All right. This was, of course, one of those things, the hunt. Because, of course, with getting the new milestones, I'm recollecting all the old milestones because I never had all of them. and that includes the miniseries. This one is Wise Son, the White Wolf. Okay, 4 issues. I had 2, 3, and 4 for the longest time. I just happened to be online, you know. And of course, I get the emails because, of course, it's on my want. It was on my want list. I get the email. It'd be like, "Girl, we have it. Come get it." And what did I do? I went and got it and put it right, and then I attached it to my subscriptions because these are hard to get. So this completes the Wise Son. So I think I have about 20 original milestones that I need to get. And most of them are statics, of course, because statics cost rent money. But I was able to complete all of the miniseries around the milestones because I got all of them. My Name is Holocaust. I got Long Hot Summer. I got, what was that other one? Death Wish. I got that all for the Death Wishes. So Wise Son was the last one that I had to complete, and I was able to complete it. So I'm good with that now. So now all I got to do is now save up and keep an eye out for rest of them statics. To have them come down to a price that I'm willing to pay for them. All right. Next up, Hardware. Season 1. I got cover A, cover B. Because, you know, the milestones, I have to get both covers. Kind of do. So these are pretty good. And I know I didn't get Static 6A cover, but I'll let the price come down a little bit on that one before I pull the trigger on that one. But yeah, I definitely, good stories here. So, because mostly all the other series have wrapped up, but except for Hardware. And then, of course, Blood Syndicate. And I'm pretty sure Blood Syndicate is in this pile. So, get your milestones. Because then once I collect them all, then I'm good. Then I can read them, rate them, you know, save them. Don't you fall. Do not fall off my desk. All right. Okay. Of course, I was missing holes in certain things because, of course, Green Lantern. All right. The Green Lantern series is finished. But then I looked through them and then I was like, oh, wait, I'm missing number 9. So I got number 9. Okay, with my my second favorite Green Lantern. Okay, because the Emerald Knight was always my favorite. Okay, he was created January 72. That's when I was born. So yeah, the Emerald Knight was always first in my heart, but Jo Mullen, she's second. So I made sure I at least close up the holes, and of course, also in the hole closing things because I always tend to, you know, snatch comics. If I don't pre-order them, I make sure that I get them when I go to the LCS. And of course, my LCS did not have these particular ones, so I went to Lone Star. So that's usually my last-ditch effort to close up the holes in my collection. So, of course, I Am Batman, 4 and 5. Because I didn't have them. And I'm confused as to how did I miss these in the pre-orders. So, Jace Fox is tearing it up in New York City, and I love it. And this is my Batman, okay? I'll give Bruce Wayne a little bit of props, a little bit of shade, a little bit of shine, but Jace Fox is my Batman. All right? Oh. And of course, Blood Syndicate. These are the truth. Oh, I love these. I love these. Okay, and let's see here. And this is, and these are variants because, of course, you know, got to have the variants. This is the Crisscross and I'm so sorry, Will Quintana. Chris Cross and Will Quintana variant. All right, and of course, Nicholas Draper Ivy. I'm about to start a Nicholas Draper Ivy fan club. Okay, so I'm not going to stalk him, but he's going to know he's one of my favorite artists. Okay, it's him. Well, the top two, him and Olivier Coipel. Olivier Coipel. And all right, next one up, X-Men Red. Iska the Unbeaten. I enjoy this, and I enjoy the mix of characters that they put in X-Men Red. Okay, and of course, it's led by the Regent of Seoul, the Regent of Araco, the Hadari Yao, Storm Aurora Monroe herself. So, definitely, this is definitely going to be, on the list of things to get, okay, if I can't snatch them in the pre-orders. Okay, this is number 2, and this is the Taryn Clark variant. And of course, yeah, I usually don't buy more than one of the same kind of comic, but the covers, I got to get them. Got to get them. Okay, and speaking of course, Olivier Coipel, Captain America, Symbol of Truth. And this is the Olivier variant. Come on. The light's leaving me. Yes, so, I'm down for Sam Wilson. Okay? I'm probably not going to collect the Steve Rogers one. That's my Captain America, Sam Wilson. Okay. And this one here. Yes. But this is a special edition of this particular comic. This is Uncanny X-Men 27. This is the Hasbro comics cover, because if you check it real close, let's see how close I can get it. Okay, it is the actual cover, but instead of the art rendition of Storm versus Cyclops, these are action figures. This is boss. Okay, not only for the fact of that, this is the issue where Storm challenges Cyclops for leadership of the X-Men and beats him without her powers. So don't dare tell me that Storm is not a bad bitch. She is. She deserves all the respect on her name. Because, seriously, beating a dude who could pulverize you if he looks at you. She's it. She's the queen. She's the one. So I made sure I got this, and then I saw this. I was like, oh wait, this is a different cover. So I was like, okay, let me get that. Because the other cover, this should be coming. I have it on order somewhere. But yeah, Uncanny X-Men 27. Who will lead the X-Men? Storm. Oh. Okay, the beautiful thing also on Free Comic Book Day, if you cannot physically get to an LCS, Lone Star, for every $5 you spend, will give you a free comic book on Free Comic Book Day. It's usually the evening before to the day of, and then it'll go on for as long as their supplies last. And then they also sell a complete set. So if you didn't want to sit there and nickel and dime to get a couple, okay, you could just buy the whole set outright. Now, I did that for this because I did this. I put in this order after I came home from Free Comic Book Day because they did not have this particular one that I was looking for, which was Hollow. Okay, they didn't have that one. So I said, okay, let me get it because it's, let's see, Boom Studios. Yeah, Boom Studios. And I'm loving their comics. So I decided to pick up Hollow and see what that's about. And then, of course, I also got another edition of the Dark Crisis Special Edition. Because I pretty much got all of the other comic books that I wanted, but I could not get that Hollow. So I was like, okay, Lone Star and then should have the Hollow for me. And they did. So it's good looking out. So that, of course, was what I got this month. Let's see what's going on here. All right. And another shout out. Okay. Armstead, Brooklyn is in the building. Okay. All right. I'm glad that you are all here with me today to go through what I've got this month, what I've hauled. And if you need any other guidelines or if you're just trying to figure out what to get, blackcomiclords.net. You go there. You can hit Black Comic Lords at all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And my last words here to you on this great day will be to buy the comics, read the comics, stay in your budget. Stay in your budget. Stay in your budget. All right. I'm happy to have been here with you today. And you can catch me in these streets. Instagram, StarDancer_Supreme, Instagram. And on the Twitters, BCL, StarDancer Supreme. And like I told y'all before, I wild out on Twitter. So don't be surprised, okay, with what I do on Twitter. Because I go to Twitter to have fun. Release my steam, release my stress, and just troll and things. So yeah, but I do that strictly on Twitter. All right. So don't forget the link on the bottom. Check it out for your pre-orders. That'll help you stay within your budget. And good evening. I'll catch y'all later.